doing well.
May I tell a story about you before we begin this?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go for it.
So when I started watching David Letterman when I was a kid, I found out that my grandfather also watched the show. He'd stay up almost all night, every night, and he loved the show, and we bonded over that. We, of course, bonded because he was my grandfather, but my grandfather was the greatest. He was a very funny guy, and just everyone loved him. So after Letterman moved, he started watching you, and he loved you in a similar way. And
wait, your grandfather? Like, old people hated me when I showed up.
My grandfather was very hip. He loved you.
Oh, my God.
And at the time I was doing morning radio, so I was getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I wasn't watching a lot of late night television at that time, but he would tell me that he loved you and this and that. Anyway, he was in New York. He lived in Las Vegas, and he was in New York visiting my cousins, and he was at a restaurant in the city, and you walked into this restaurant, and you engaged him. He was my grandfather was more than a little nutty. And nothing was garbage to him. He would, like my cousin Mickey was working at an optometrist's office, and she'd bring home, for whatever reason, a box of eyeglass lenses. And he would paint birds or people, sometimes David Letterman, sometimes you, on these eyeglass lenses, right, and then make them into earrings. Now, these weren't great.
I was listening to this and I went, right. Like, right, of course. No, right. This is a tumor or something.
Imagine earrings shaped just like, they weren't ground down into a circle or anything. Right, it was just the shape of an eyeglass lens. And he always wore a bowler tie. And he made a bowler tie with an eyeglass lens, and you spotted it, and you asked him if he could if you could have it. And there was you didn't really want it, but I think he was willing to give it to you, but you wound up not taking it. But then you sat and talked to him for, according to my cousins, quite some time.
This, you know what? This does line up with my personality.
And this really was, we were all very excited about this.
Well, it's funny because I do really enjoy, and you'll back me up on this, Sona, when I'm out in the world, I talk to people and I go on a long time, and I have thought, maybe that's a nice part of my personality.
It is a nice part of your personality.
Well, then recently I've had people start to say, wow, you're needy.
Yes. That's also true.
You can't win.
That's the flip side, I guess, of it. I don't remember. You'd think I'd remember your grandfather with the kooky tie.
This was a long time ago. I mean, he's been dead for 17 years, I guess, now.
I remember predicting his death when I was talking to him.
It wouldn't have been difficult to do.
Within a month.
He was probably 88 at the time. But
yeah. I remembered saying
so thank you for that on behalf of the family.
That's how I end most conversations with people. You haven't long, you know.